Hey plastic model builders, welcome back to Model Making Madness. That is right, Model Making Madness. You are now watching part 4 of the Corsair 2 Revell 1/48 scale model. Picking up where we left off from before, we are now painting the hydraulic lines, or the hydraulics I should say, of the landing gear right here. So you see that goes a steel color, so we're just going to paint those. I already got some of it painted for you. Here we have the front wheels. That tab there on the front, you're going to have to take that off eventually. Flaw in the model, unfortunately. These are the rear wheels, the rear gear, so we are painting all the hydraulics on that. You just go over with the paintbrush. Those also go steel. After we do that, we will also paint the wheel hubs, and those are also a steel color. You are going to see those coming up. So here's a good view of those right there. You see the rear struts right there, those go on the back of the plane, and here are those wheel hubs I talked about. We're going to paint those silver. Just go around those just like you see me doing right here. Take your time, make it look pretty. We always got to mention that, don't we? Of course we do. So back to it, here we are painting these wheel hubs. Like I said, just go around those very carefully. Get the front of them and the back of them. These are the rear wheels, of course. At least I think they are. You know what? They actually might be the front wheels. And that's definitely what they are, the front wheels. The rear wheels, they look a little bit different. So just keep painting these right here. We're going to do the other side now that we've got those done. And you can see the rear wheels over here on the other side because they are a little bit bigger. There are only 2 of those. Some planes have 4, some have 2, and 2 in the front. So it makes it a little bit easier. So just keep going around. These are the front wheels right here. We're going to fill those completely in with this steel color. You see me doing that now. Get one side, and of course if you do one wheel, you're going to have to do the other wheel, and here it is. Did I mention this movie was about 17 minutes and 12 and a half seconds long? If I didn't, it is. So back to it. These are the rear wheels. We're doing those the same steel color, as you can see here. Go around the edges. Just take your time with it. It will look good, I promise. You see how high I'm actually going up there? That's what it looked like on some of the pictures that I saw. So I tried to replicate that. And you see I got that filled in there, the steel all the way around. We're just doing this other wheel right here. Keep going with it. So now we are going to paint these little things right here. I would say they were maybe the guns, I'm not sure. It wasn't listed to paint those on the actual directions, but I did it because on pictures you can see that. So here's some more fun stuff. Bombs. I know we love bombs. Every plane has bombs, and the decision is, do we put the bombs on the plane or do we leave them off? Well, I like to put my bombs on every plane because it gives me something to do. It gets more minutes in my movie. That way you can watch more minutes, and I love more minutes. The more you watch, the better I feel. So watch my movie with every minute there is, all 17 and 12 minutes and a half seconds of this movie. So painting these in olive green color. These are just heavy bombs, as it states, like 500-pound bombs, and there's 200-pound bombs. I didn't make the other bombs because they are on my favorite airplane that I keep mentioning over and over and over again, which is the Revell 1/48 scale F-16 Falcon, which is actually the Thunderbird that they produced, even though it has Falcon colors in it. I made mine the Warbird version of the Falcon. Or I'm sorry, the Warbird version of the Thunderbird, which is in Thunderbird colors, but with armament. Here are the pylons. Cut these pylons from the sprue. They're already painted gloss white. We did that in the last video, if you remember. So watch those videos if you haven't seen them. Click some links. You know where they are. They're on the corners of these movies for now, until YouTube decides where they want to put them again. Taking off our landing gear wheels right here. Trim a little bit off of those. That's where the sprues were. Hubs right there. You see I didn't do the inside of that one because it goes right onto the wheels, so you never see it. Here we go, just scraping a little bit of paint off where we intend to, you know, glue parts, because paint doesn't stick to glue very well, so you know, you just want to make sure they're clean. Get all the glue off necessary, get all the paint off necessary that you intend to glue. So you see me doing that around these pylons. Get the little pins that fit into the box ends. Some people can call them tabs and holes. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. Tab holes maybe, whatever. So here we go, getting one of these pylons right here. There's plenty of pylons to do on this plane. 6 in total. I only have 4 on mine because of the Warbird plane there on there. This is one of the fuel tanks. So scrape the paint off of this little section right here. Do the best you can. Clean out the holes with all the paint that you have in there, and then you can, these are ready to glue onto the pylons, and we'll put those on a little bit later. Here we go, one more fuel tank. Make it look good or pretty, you know, whatever your favorite saying is that you want to call. So, alright, here we go. Here are the cluster bombs. I would think these are cluster bombs. If not, they're just regular bombs. Who knows? There's so many bombs and missiles nowadays. There's no telling what they are. So this is the pylon right here. This is for the Sidewinder missiles that are going to go onto this plane. And just keep scraping away at it because it goes on one whole side. And there we have that. So you want to glue these onto the sides of the plane. It's only a small little tab that it fits in. And here's the other missile right here that we're just going to paint. They all went white. They were pretty basic back then for this model when they made them. Almost halfway through this video. Not quite. We're getting there. So here we go. We're going to start gluing some couple of parts on here soon. Got tabs first, so make sure you get all the paint out of those. That way your pylons stick. And like I said, there are 6 of them here, but I only did 4 pylons. So, you know, 6 times 2 is equal to 12. So if you're putting all of them on, do all 12 of these little holes right here. I never bothered cleaning out the centers of those, as you can see, where I just basically put the tabs in and that was it. So maybe it was kind of pointless of me to even clean out the middles. You can see I am doing that here. This is where the Sidewinders go. It depends on how you want to make this model, how you want to glue things. You could put the missiles on first. You could put your wheels on first. It's a little difficult. Here I am cleaning out that space for the wheels and as well the little space for the landing gear. Now here's this little tab here. I'm cleaning it off. But you don't really need to just yet because you're going to break this piece off because that tab is put on in reverse. And here I am breaking it off. Why is it in reverse? Because Revell didn't bother changing it and it was wrong when they made the model. If you go to put this on, the front landing gear will actually be facing backwards. Unless it was just my model, which hey, maybe I'm special and I got a special version of this plane. But probably not likely. So here we are. This is the front landing gear, these little tabs that you got to clean off. They're actually angled a little bit because they fit with the doors angled outward. They're not straight down like some planes. You got to have to measure how to mask off for the paint or just scrape it. So you see me, I put the little landing gear there, eyeball it, scrape away, and I just repeat that process for each little spot that has a tab. That way I know where I'm going to put the glue on this so the model and the glue dry properly. So there we go. Tab there for this left side of the gear. And you can see that wonderful paint job that I had and that little splotch that I never bothered cleaning up right there by my thumb. Oh, well, deal with it. I'm sure the critics will say something to me about that, but do I care? Not one bit. So we are officially halfway through this movie, so we hope you like it because I know I do. Here we are. These are the rear gears right here, so we're going to scrape away the paint from those and we're going to scrape away the paint right there, as you can see, because that's how this gear is going to lay down, and we're getting this corner right here. Then after we do that, we're going to get a little bit on the side. You don't want to take off too much. If you do, just get out your touch-up paint and you can just touch it up. So here's the gear doors for the rear of the plane. There's a total of 6 of these, 3 on each side. They were a little bit difficult to go on because you have to figure out how they fit on this actual plane. So when you see the review for this, I'm actually going to show you in depth how those look. So make sure you see the review, and that will be in about 2 weeks after you finish this movie. So hey, be on the lookout for that one, especially when it comes, because I know you're going to want to watch the review. Rather short review, good for this plane. So here are the rest of these tabs. I did make sure I scraped all the parts first before I put them all on, and that's how you see me doing this right now. Just going around the edge. Honestly, I scraped a little too much and never bothered fixing it because this plane's just sitting in a case right now, and the only person who's ever seen it is me and you watching the videos. So I'm scraping the top here because I wasn't exactly sure, based on the directions, how this model was supposed to fit with these landing gear. Right there you see the side. Those gear doors will fit down on the side, but the gears that I'm doing right now actually go on the side of the plane and not right there on that surface. A little weird, I know, that's how they did it. So I'm just kind of scraping it, just preparing, because I wasn't exactly sure and it was hard to figure out until I actually started putting stuff down, and I decided, you know what, I think really this is how it's supposed to go. So again, we're scraping some stuff right here. This is for the that rear hydraulics. So it was a little hard figuring out how it was supposed to go into this plane. Yeah, eventually you sit there, you look at it long enough, your eyes start to burn and you figure it out. Got about 7.5 minutes left of this movie. I appreciate you watching all of it. This right here is the landing gear light. I'm going to put a little bit of white glue down, or crystal clear, whatever you have. This states. Here we go. Put that down right there, and there's that little landing light right there. See it? Now it's gone. Alright, so that was how this is supposed to fit, that long edge right there. Well, they did it differently to where you saw how I first had it turned the other way, and you have to flip it. Landing gear doors. Put it on those little tabs, and you see the tabs are angled just a little bit. You have to be careful how you put this in. Used a little knife there. That just helped me hold this side in, because, you know, sometimes you work better from different sides. And not only that, but I'm making you a video to show you stuff. So camera angles can be quite tricky with models. You only get one shot, and I'm not buying a zillion models just for you so I can get everything perfect every time. So here we go. Obviously, we are going to put on the front landing gear. Put a little bit of glue in, put it on the tab, and twist. Now, I was in a rush, and that front landing gear wasn't quite dry all the way. The strut, and you see it flexing a little bit, but eventually I let it dry. So here we go. This is a rear gear. Just sits right in there. It's got some tabs that it meets up with. Left side, and now the right side. This is going to be the front landing gear, or I'm sorry, the top of the gear. You see it fits right down in those slots, fits right on top of those, whatever you call them, maybe electrical things, or probably just, you know, like the build of the plane. So sit that down. You see it's got those little curves to the bottom on there, gap, or angle, I should say, and it fits in. This is the back of the plane. We are putting in that rear strut, and you're going to see it meet up right here. Really small piece. It was really difficult. The directions were not clear how to put this on, so I had to sit there and figure it out. Kind of a bad thing. Oh well, we'll get to that a little bit later. Here you go. You see the other gear door going on there. Be careful with it. Don't cut yourself if you're using a knife or whatever you decide to use. The placement was kind of hard because, like I said, there's a lot of small areas in this model, so you have to figure out how to get it right. Guess what? 2 minutes left to go. You've made it this far. As I always, thank you for watching my videos and making it through the whole thing. So I do really appreciate it. And I love when you watch the whole movies. It's great for YouTube. So, this is the last landing gear door. Those are on. We're going to put on our missile pylons and bomb pylons, whatever the heck you want to call them. Here's one. Putting on number 2 right here. We're going to go for number 3. And of course, after we put on number 3, it's going to be number 4 and number 5. Just kidding, there's only 4. So here we go. Putting on these on the side. So really there are 6, so I kind of lied about only 4. Really 4 pylons and maybe 2 others for the sidewinders. I wouldn't know if you'd call them pylons or not. Probably rails. So those are the missile rails. So I didn't lie, there's 4. And 2 missile rails. So here we go. All of them are done. Put the Sidewinder missiles on. You may want to put those on first. Depends on how you build your model. Put mine on last. Just slowly go with the glue. We don't have much but a minute left of this video, so you know what that means. It's about that time to say my thank yous to you for watching and my subscribes and blah 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 like I do every video. Putting on our fuel tanks right here. 2 of those, 1 on each side, and I got the bombs that were coming up here, those olive green bombs. They look really nice. So here we go, coming to the conclusion of this model. We thank you for watching. As always, remember, we're going to have a video coming out in about 2 more weeks, which is the review of this. Watch it, subscribe so you can get the updates. Remember, I love your comments, and as you know, I always respond to those comments, and give me likes. I love you. Thank you for watching. Ha, suckers, I lied. We still got 2 minutes left in this video, and you weren't paying attention to the time, I bet. So, here we are, putting on the rear wheels. Just scrape a little bit off of there. like we're doing here. And then you just put your glue on, twist them onto place. They don't seat all the way down because I guess that hub is supposed to be whatever it is, just a hub for brakes. So there we go. I'm going to put on one wheel right here. This is the rear wheel. We'll put on the left wheel as well. Just be careful with it. Everything on this plane has had time to dry. You see, if you do it first, you might have trouble getting in your bombs and your fuel tanks. So this is the refueling tube. You might have to use some super glue. I show you in this video me using regular plastic cement to hold it in, but it wasn't working fast enough for me, as impatient as I am. So I wound up putting super glue in there. And here's this wingtip. Paint the left wingtip goes red both sides, and this little thing on the top right here, paint that. So once you're done that, here we go. Put a little bit of green right here. This is the left side. I think I thinned that down a little bit just to make it look clear. So here we go. Top portion of that. Actually, it's the bottom portion of the right wing. It's all nice and green. It looks pretty, doesn't it? So let's peel the tape away from this canopy because it's been masked off this whole entire time. If you have to touch stuff up, touch it up. You know, it is what it is. So guess what? Now we are about 30 seconds away from finishing this video. I will give you my actual final goodbyes. We appreciate you watching. Subscribe, that way you get the latest updates on time. Give us your comments and likes, because I love responding to your comments. Even when they're negative, I'll do it anyway. And always give us likes. You know how YouTube loves that stuff. The longer the video, the more you watch, it's better. Taking off the last bit of tape here, and there we go. Thanks a lot. See ya.